So in this video, we're going to go over how to keep the ODR rate for Amazon dropshippers low. This is going to be kind of an advanced video. This is for someone that is already selling on Amazon now. They're already dropshipping on Amazon now, and they want to learn some tricks to get their ODR low. Now, if we go to, we'll do this in real time. We go to my Amazon, no, that's eBay. If we go to my Amazon store, and we click on account health, you guys can see that my current ODR is 0.37%. So now it doesn't always stay that low. Okay, I've definitely gotten scares with it, and I'm sure there'll be scares with it in the future. But I do have some kind of tricks, some kind of advanced things that took me a long time to figure out on ways to, not guaranteed, no way, shape, or form, but different strategies to help reduce the ODR. And I'd like to share those with you in this video. Now, just as a quick recap for anyone that's not sure what the ODR is, ODR stands for order defect rate. So basically, Amazon allows sellers to have a 1% mess up. And this 1% mess up has three different criteria. The first one is negative feedback. So if you get a negative feedback, it goes against your ODR. It counts against your ODR. The second thing is AZ claims. If you get an AZ claim, that goes against your ODR. The other thing is credit card chargebacks. That goes against your ODR, and it stays on there for 60 days, and then it disappears. So all three of these things fall under the ODR rate, and Amazon allows us sellers a 1% ODR rate. It's a lot stricter than like eBay, for example, because I've sold a bunch on eBay too. I got over 1,900 feedback on my eBay store. So, negative feedback. Negative feedback comes from someone not being happy with the service or the product or something along the lines of that. An AZ claim. An AZ claim basically is where the customer says they didn't get the item. If they contact Amazon and they say, they're adamant about it, they say, I didn't get the item, that will open up an AZ claim. Now, an AZ claim, just so we're all on the same page, that's like terminology us sellers use. The customer never says, I'd like to open up an A to Z claim against the seller. And the person on Amazon never says, okay, you said you didn't get an item, I'm going to open up an AZ claim against the seller. It's the seller just essentially is saying, or the person buying the item is basically saying, I didn't get the item. And Amazon says, okay, let us look into this. We'll get this taken care of for you. And that will trigger an AZ claim. Is basically, we could argue that that's generally how it works, all right? So we have negative feedbacks, AZ claims, and credit card chargebacks. That's where the customer goes to their credit card and say, says I bought this. I'm trying to think of something that I sell in my store that's kind of common. We sell a lot of carpets. Says I bought this carpet for $50. I don't remember buying this carpet. So the credit card contacts Amazon and says, we didn't, the buyer did, the person that bought the item didn't authorize that. That's a credit card chargeback. So all three of these things fall under the ODR rate thing. So basically out of 100 orders, so we're going to do 100 orders, you can have an ODR, they allow you to have an ODR rate of 1%. If it goes above 1%, that risks the account getting shut down. One of the big issues us Amazon dropshippers are always worried about, I'm always worried about it, is the ODR rate going too high and the account getting suspended. Because it's a very, very, very real possibility. Especially when you factor in other things such as this. For example, I got a negative feedback from a customer about a month ago. He says that he didn't get his item. So I looked at his order, and he said he ordered a chair from us. And he said he didn't get a snowblower. So I looked at his order, and the item he said he never got was never from us. I checked it. He never ordered that item from us. He ordered it from another seller. But he left bad feedback for us regardless, and it hit our account. So sometimes there's things you can't even control. One of the things with customers saying they didn't get their item is Amazon has a very, very relaxed policy. Where basically, if the customer that buys the item from you or me, if they contact Amazon for any reason and they say they didn't get the item, Amazon will 99% of the time, pretty much 100% of the time, hit you with an AZ claim. Not only will they hit you with an AZ claim, so it counts against that ODR metric, they will then take money out of your account and refund the customer. So you lost money on the item. I don't care if the tracking number shows it was delivered. This is not eBay. This is Amazon. Our seller hands are kind of tied here. This is just how it works. This is one of the big issues we face. This is probably one of the biggest downsides that we face. Allow me to give you an example that I've shared in other videos. I had a guy that bought like a $600 item from me. Pretty expensive item for me. And if you guys know, my profit margin is not that high because dropshipping is just not very high. Which is actually, a lot of businesses, their profit margin is not that high, to be honest with you. So, the customer contacts me, and they said, I bought this item, but it wasn't delivered. I demand you give me a refund. And I have a little script that I send them, or my assistant sends, but we have a little script we send them where we say, hey, the tracking number shows it was delivered. Here's proof of delivery. The customer even signed the item, and on the company's website, we're going to say it was shipped by FedEx. I forget who it was shipped by. But on FedEx's website, not only did it say it was delivered, it said it was signed by the exact same person's first and last name that bought the item from us on Amazon. So it's pretty apparent that the customer got the item and they're just trying to get the refund for free. The customer said, nope, I didn't get the item. They contacted Amazon. Amazon opened up an AZ claim. We, of course, lost it. I got a point on my thing. And the customer, Amazon, instantly took the money out of my account and refunded the customer. That's how that works. And because, to make matters worse, if you're going to allow me to make matters even worse, people know that they can kind of get away with this on Amazon. So you're always going to have a percentage of people that will claim they didn't get the item even though they got it because they know that they can win and they can get Amazon to refund them. Pretty much all the time. Now, I don't know if it happens all the time, right? Maybe Amazon's got some thing where if a customer buys 100 items and they do an AZ claim on all 100 items, maybe Amazon catches it. I don't really know. I had a situation a couple days ago where a customer bought an item from me 3 months ago. Then they bought another item from me a week and a half ago. In the same day, they contacted Amazon, said they didn't get the item. I got an AZ claim on both the items, and I got 2 hits, and Amazon took money out of my account for both the items. Now, understand this, though. Let's talk about something a little bit more positive, and then we'll go over how to fix this. Understand this. Last month, I made about $14,000 in profit. That's after all the AZ claims, VAs, everything, paying for the products, everything. Month before that, I made about $14,000 in profit. There's thousands of people that are drop shipping on Amazon. So the percent of people that do that is actually not too high. It's probably not as high as you think. If it was really high, then everyone would get AZ claims. Everyone's ODR rate would be, 5, 6, 7, 8. Everyone's store would get shut down. And then the market would actually adjust. At that point, Amazon, the market fixes everything. Not to get off on a tangent, but Amazon would adjust their policies or certain things that they're doing. So, what are things that we can do to keep the ODR low? The first thing that we can do, and this is what I did. I looked at what was causing my ODR, the negative feedback, AZ claims, all this stuff. One of the reasons I was getting negative feedback is I was selling a lot of items where the product I was shipping to the customer was not the exact item that was listed. So it's really important that when we list items on our Amazon store, that the item we list on our Amazon store is the exact same item from the supplier. So if we're drop shipping from Walmart, and let's say we're drop shipping from Walmart, and we're listing some soap. And, I'll give you another example. One of the items that I just remember it We were drop shipping. It was a bed for a dog. And it was the exact same. It was a bed for a dog. And it was the exact same item. It was the same color, the same space, right? You got to make sure, because if one is, 3 feet and one is 3 feet point, if one's 24 inches and one's 26 inches and the customer gets the 24-inch one, but on the Amazon store it said 26 and that's not caught, the customer can get upset. This item, it was heated. It was supposed to be heated, but the one we sent them wasn't heated. Things like that will make customers upset. So I looked at all the negative feedback and I said, what are some patterns that are causing this negative feedback? Let me not be a victim. What are the patterns causing this negative feedback? And I realized that a lot of the negative feedback was coming from customers getting the wrong item, which makes sense, right? I don't know if you buy stuff from Amazon, but I buy stuff from Amazon. I kind of get excited. So if I got all excited and then all of a sudden it was the wrong item, that would make me a little bit pissed off. My chance of leaving negative feedback would go through the roof. Even if the person is gonna pay for me to return the item, that's a big hassle, right? I mean, who wants to package the item up and go to the post office and drive? It's like a big pain. It's a big pain to do, right? Even though it's a big pain to just go through the return process. So I said, what can I do to fix this? What I do now is I got the virtual assistants and they list all the products. They're consistently finding new products. I got 3 full-time virtual assistants. All their job is to find products with the tool that I use that allows me to basically find an unlimited number of profitable items very easily by pressing buttons. The tool is very good. I'll link it in the description. So they find items and they check it themselves and make sure it's the same item and it's got to meet a bunch of other criteria. Then they list it on a Google sheet. Then I have one person that goes in there that I've developed a relationship with and I trust a whole lot. I put a lot of trust on this person. She will go through and check each item and she'll make sure that it's the exact same item. She will make sure it's the exact same item. And she will catch little errors. Then I have another person that actually kind of spots check it after that. So we don't just list items in the store. Okay, the listing VA says it's a good item and we list it. No, we don't do any of that. It goes through basically 2 additional checks before we list the item. I went from listing maybe 4% of my items being the wrong item. Now I'd say about half of the percent, around 1 of every 200 items is the wrong item. That's dramatically lowered the negative feedback that we get, which has helped with everything else being the same. If I lower the negative feedback in that category, it dramatically helps it. If everything else is in the same in the store, all the other metrics and ODR stuff, but I can lower negative feedback from that happening, that will improve the ODR. One of the other issues was that customers were leaving us bad feedback saying that the person they were communicating with in my store that was handling customer service was speaking broken English and they couldn't understand her. And then I looked at that and she was, because she's from the Philippines and her first language is not English and she doesn't, customer service is its own language in itself. So I, over a period of months, taught her English, and then I taught her customer service, language, and lingo. And there's another video where I touch about that on this channel and go into more detail. But I actually go into pretty good detail on it. It's a good video. That's helped fix that. I also made a bunch of scripts. So she uses my scripts, she combines it with the English that I taught her and the customer service lingo. That negative feedback went away. I looked at AZ claims and I noticed that I said, okay, I'm getting AZ claims on all sorts of items, right? Because that happens. There's the percentage of customers that are doing claims that are saying they didn't get the item even though they get it. So I made an executive decision. It's my business. I do whatever I want. I own 100% of it, right? That means I get all the reward, but I also take all the risk. That's how business is. So I said, you know what? If customers are very adamant that they didn't get the item, if it's below a certain dollar amount, we're going to take the hit on the store. I'm going to refund that customer. Because I know that if 10 customers are very adamant and they said they didn't get an item, not all of them, but a decent percentage of them are going to do one of those AZ claims that we talked about. So I have a budget basically, and I'm totally comfortable refunding $300, $400, $500 worth of product a month to help keep that ODR low, which is the goal, right? Now, there's so many, I get so nervous about everything else. I mean, we could get a bunch of claims. I got a claim today or yesterday. I got like two claim the day before. The day before that, I got two claims in a row. But then like the whole week before that, I didn't get any claims. So it's like the ODR my ODR is pretty low, but I'm still worried. I'm worried that it could jump up, right? So, but you guys see what I'm doing? I'm looking at what's causing the ODR, and then I'm trying to prevent that from happening. I'm trying to prevent that from happening from making sure we list more correct items, making sure the customer service is better, making sure that I just put a budget aside and I say, okay, I'm just going to, and that's what I do. If customers are very adamant that they didn't get the item, I'll just refund them right away. I mark it on my sheet as a loss. That's that. Now, if it's like a really expensive product, I will fight it. Right? If it's a $200 product, I'm fighting it. Okay, we're fighting one right now. And I have a very good script in place that can actually get a percentage of people that say they didn't get the item and are very certain they didn't get the item. I can get a decent percentage of those people to magically find the item. They didn't really find it. I basically call out their BS, but I have to do it. You have to do it in a very tasteful way because it's Amazon. We're basically, oh, you know what? It was in my garage. You know what? Someone actually did move it to my garage. And then they go away and I don't get it. So it's like if the dollar amount of the product's really high, I risk getting an AZ claim and fighting it and potentially not fighting it with I'm not going to fight it with Amazon, but kind of sending my scripts to the customer and getting them to magically find the item and get them to go away. Because that works a percentage of the time. If it's a lower dollar amount item, though, I don't even risk it. I just refund them. But it's like you kind of got to have, the store's got to be ran tight. If there's too many issues, right? If it's not ran tight and like all the customers' items are running late, or like they're all getting the wrong item, that can increase that can increase these things as well. So it's like I can give partial refunds. I can give some refunds because the whole store's ran well where it's like it doesn't affect my profit that much. If the store's not ran well, it could affect it. Okay, you could be giving out too much money. It's like I make really good profit on my items, right? I'm making around 11.5%, 12%, maybe 11% on average is the profit on the item, not on the store of the item. The VAs are ran well. I got the repricer. It's the same one I use to find I link it in the description. That's cheaper than what I was using before, and it's more effective. It does a better job. So it's like because everything's ran tight, I can give refunds every now and then when I need to, and it doesn't affect the profit too much. If things are falling apart, and my profit margin was only 3% anyway, giving out $500 a month, that could possibly have a higher chance of it really affecting me. But those are just things to consider. This is kind of a more advanced video, but there's other videos on this channel for the complete beginner and really what to do to get started. So I figured we should make this video on how to keep the ODR rate low for Amazon dropshippers. If you like this video, there'll be you can check out other videos on this channel where I talk about all sorts of good stuff. And then also, if you look in the description, we have a members-only Facebook group. So if you're interested in dropshipping on Amazon, you want to learn more, you're doing it now, you just want to make more money, feel free to join that group. I generally post stuff in there as well, and it's a good place to kind of ask questions and connect with other like-minded people.